Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in. Hi, everybody, and there we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Business Talk Show here on USA Global TV and Radio. My name is Al CINI, and I am privileged and honored to co-host this program with Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Dr. JACALYN, come on out.
Hi, everyone. Here I am. Al, it's great to see you. I think this is episode 102.
It is 102. I'm now keeping that count in my head. Ever since we broke the 100 mark 2 weeks ago, I've been, it's amazing to me that we're up in the triple digits. Just incredible.
It is. And actually on the network, on the channel, we have over 1,350 some shows. So it's amazing.
Pretty amazing. And through the magic of Dr. JACALYN, you've attracted a great guest today, Viktorija Faith. And you know, we don't get to talk as much as I'd like about the business of entertainment and how it's evolved. And Viktorija is a classic example of somebody who's like at the spearhead of that evolution. So that's going to be a fun conversation. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to bring her out as well. She actually was a guest on the Film and Music Show, and she was introduced to our platform by the beautiful Inside and Out Madeline Chan. I love you, Madeline, if you're out there. So I'm excited. Before we bring Viktorija out and we discuss a number of really pertinent topics to the business community, I want to spotlight you, Mr. CINI, and I want you to tell us all about the work that you're doing as an entrepreneur and also the work that you're doing on RVN television.
Well, thank you, Dr. JACALYN. I appreciate that. In fact, on RVN Television, that's rvntelevision.com, I'm a co-host and a producer of a program called The Advocates, where every week on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. we spotlight somebody who's making a difference in the world. An advocate to us is a good person doing good. We like to champion those efforts and bring them to the foreground and hopefully inspire other people to get out there and do good things as well. So The Advocates is kind of a labor of love, and it's so far it's been a very fun ride. We've had some great guests, and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to these people because these people are amazing. Some you've heard of, many you've never heard of before, but every one of them is a great story. So that's The Advocates on rvntelevision.com. And I'm also, you know, in my spare time, delivering a team building program. We're now calling it North Star Team Builder. And it's based on the Brand and Culture Alignment Toolkit. So it's got some science behind it. And in a matter of 4 hours, and we have a lot of fun doing it, by the way, in a matter of 4 hours, we take any group or team or department or any group of people, any assembly of people who have a common mission, and we align them with their purpose. We give them each a voice in articulating that. We bring that out. We align everybody to it. And at the end of it, we've got a team of people who clearly understand what it means to fit in a community of people who solve the kinds of problems they solve together. And we get great results from it. So that's what I'm doing when I'm not doing this, Dr. JACALYN.
Thank you, Al. Before I bring you back, please let our audience know about your Talking Heads series that you'll be bringing back in August.
And coming back in August, and I really appreciate this opportunity, Dr. JACALYN. It's Talking Heads is a great program offered on USA Global TV and Radio by Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Terrific opportunity for somebody with ideas to present those ideas to a hungry audience, people out there who want to learn what you have in your mind and want to learn from what you have to offer. And my Talking Heads presentations are around what I do, which is aligning people with purpose. And I did 5. I think we have 5 in the library so far, and we're going to restart the program beginning in August. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Al. All right. I want to bring out Viktorija Faith. The last time we saw her, she was out in LA. Now she's back in London, and she's quite an anomaly, I want to say, because she is multi-talented in so many areas. And as a woman, she has really built her own empire in the film and music industry by cutting out the middlemen, so to speak, going out there, taking the bull by the horns and making a name for herself. So she started out singing, songwriting. She's an actress, she's an entrepreneur, and she's built this global empire. Let's bring her out and find out what she's been up to.
It's going to be great.
Hi there.
Hey,
Hi
Viktorija, it's
there.
nice to see you. Nice to meet you. This is the first time we've met. I know
First
you
time
and Dr.
we've met.
JACALYN have worked before. And
Such an
I'll tell you that we live in a world these days, and everybody who's connected to social media knows that what's in your head can be sent directly out to the people who might want to consume that information, that knowledge, those ideas. And I'm looking behind you at Dream, Believe, Imagine.
Yeah.
That's Viktorija's process, isn't it?
Yes.
Now that we live in this world where what you imagine, Viktorija, whether it's music or a video or a movie, is immediately available directly to your audience with nobody in the middle. How did you make that work? Because I know that's not easy.
That's so true. I think I forgot on over here to put execute. Because make it happen is actually so much work, as much as believing in the idea, and then finding people who can help you deliver that vision, and to put that work out there. So so once you finish that, then the next part is to reach out to the audiences, and that's
And there's nobody in between. I mean, to me, that's the amazing part of it. We live in a world where a lot of talent like yours is managed by somebody.
Yeah.
So there's somebody out there who puts your makeup on, and somebody out there who picks the clothing for you, and somebody out there who designs the sets that you're shot in front of. You do all that yourself.
Yeah. I have to have my hands on everything. And probably at some point I'll have to find people that I trust to be able to do that. But there's thanks to social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, we can directly communicate with our followers and our audiences, and there's no need to have a person in the middle who, we had so many examples of famous people who sorry, had to then split up and broke up on a bad terms. So many stories where artists been used by managers and management team and everything. So my story was very simple. I just had quite few not very nice experiences with management. I wasn't agreeing on some of the terms. It's not a secret that being a female artist, there comes a lot of ingredients that has to go with, and as a person who has my own vision and have my own ideas, I found that it's much easier to just manage my own projects by myself, and just hire people to help me out to just build on that vision that I have.
Well, Dr. JACALYN, I think you might have an opinion or two about that whole women in show business thing.
Well, I'm just wondering, as a woman who is basically, you're doing it yourself, and you are the creative energy, and then you're also the business owner, what kind of challenges have you faced as a woman? That's my first part. And then my second part is, do you think if you were a man, you wouldn't have faced those challenges?
Definitely. I can talk only about my own experience, but I've noticed that 6 years ago, any meeting that I would have, I was required to have a male manager or like management team, um, who would then have communication and negotiations. After all Me Too movement, for us female, it's so much easier now, and we are getting our voices back. And I'm noticing that it's still, I feel like, we're still have like a couple years to develop, but it's much easier in now in 2022 to knock on that door and be heard, especially for me, who is, an immigrant. I came here to London like 14 years ago, and I am representing all those voices that never had opportunity to be heard. I had to learn English because I've noticed also, without a language, people think that you're kind of like a, like they will look as you're like a secondary human being. So not only as a woman I had to face certain challenges, but a person who is an immigrant. So luckily, these days, with I had to invest some time to learn the language, and the better my English is, the better people understand what I'm trying to achieve. And and as a woman as well, I'm getting a little bit more support from other female communities, and it's really been really helpful.
I want to highlight a word that you used a little while ago that you said you'd put up on the wall. The next chance you get, you'll get some letters and put up execute.
Yeah.
I think that was the word that, for me anyway, that's my favorite word. There are days, everybody has days where they wake up in the morning and they think, you know what? New series just dropped on Netflix. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Maybe today I just won't do it. You can't do that, can you?
No.
When you wake, talk about how you make that happen, because it's a fire inside of you that
yes,
that drives you to talk about that.
Yes, I definitely have that fire inside me. When you work for yourself, you don't really have a day off, or you can't really afford to be under the weather to feel certain way. So I do have, and I found it like very effective for myself. I'm having like a schedule. So I wake up at 6, then from 6 till 8 a.m. I will do certain, like writing in my journal, and meditating and praying and all of this. And I call it me time. And then I go gym, and then I start my day with looking at my diary, what's next on my agenda. And my day is really, really busy, because I have to not only manage certain administrational work, but I also have to find time to create, which is my favorite thing to do. And it includes writing songs. I've recently just directed my first music video for someone else, and it was a paid job, so that was a lot of preparation. And and then I'm not talking about the whole pre-production of my feature film, and then meetings with other filmmakers. I was just part of Barnes Film Festival, where I helped event produce. So there's a lot going on, where I actually can really afford to be any other way. I just have to do it, because I can only rely on myself at this period of my life, at least.
I'm going to, when we get to a break later in the program, I'm going to want to ask you more about that, because I think the execute is the word that's missing in most people's vocabulary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk out there, but there's very little do. And the world needs more do. And you're like a classic example of exactly that. But Before
Yeah.
we talk about the business model part of it, I also want to explore with you the revenue streams, because you have to manage the money, and
Yeah.
that's a job too. What about, maybe you can tell everybody what kind of media you produce, what you've got out there, and where maybe online they can go to find it.
Yeah. So my media company is just like my, recent baby. So at this point, we only just made one feature film that is, currently we're I'm getting it seen by other professionals, and selling to somewhere to be streamed, or something like that. So that's that. And then, yeah, I've produced some songs, compete at certain competitions where I've received some money from my winnings. And yeah, and also I have like a side business that helps me to invest into my projects. But I feel like the main revenue is going to be just like in a couple of years time, so I have to really stay still and believe and imagine while I'm executing.
Thank
Definitely.
you for sharing that. I was going to ask, we were talking about executing, which is the do, over to the dough. So how do we get the dough? Like, as an entrepreneur, we know that it's difficult. I was just watching Shark Tank last night. I love that show. And everybody's vying for money, right? Everybody's got something going that they need somebody to invest in. So what are you doing to set yourself up for, you said, in the future, whatever that time frame is where you get the big payday?
Yeah. So for me, I knew that, entertainment industry and filmmaking and music making is just such a crowded place. Realistically, I knew that I had to have something to showcase before even I tried to apply for any funds or anything. So I knew that I have to figure out a way how to fund my own project. So that's what I was doing. I was relying just on, like, purely on myself, and I figured, the way, on top of things that I'm doing, like little acting stuff, or performing, that money is just not enough to to fund a feature film, or something else. So yeah, I think I've lost the idea where I was going with that. If you can remind me a little bit. So what was it? What was the question? I've
So
completely lost it.
oh, that's okay. So it's just about how you are building your empire financially so that you are
Yeah.
prepared as you continue to grow.
Yeah. Right now, I am building products that's gonna be sold in a couple years. So the musical is in the making, finishing the songs. So that's one project. Then the feature film that is already finished, with the songs, and then the third film is like a series about modern slavery. So right now, I felt like I needed, like, as every business person, I have to have something to sell.
Hmm.
So I've made sure that I have enough financial resources to support myself while I'm building my portfolio, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're building up a catalog, and you're putting audio and video content in that.
Yes.
So some
Yes.
music, some feature films.
Yes.
And one of the feature films you mentioned is the modern slavery feature film, I guess, that you're currently working on.
Yeah.
When we're going to take a break. We're at just about that point where we run a few commercials. Dr.
Yeah.
JACALYN has some friends that she needs to highlight here. And when we come back, let's talk about modern slavery, because I'm anxious to know your take on that, and how you're
Yeah.
going to present that in your video.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm very excited to share that.
Great, great, Victoria.
Fantastic. All
So
right,
we'll
let's
be
take a
back.
moment. Yes, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Take a moment.
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 So I've had the privilege of photographing some incredible people over the years, and during each shoot I've asked the subject to close their eyes and take themselves to a peaceful place just for a few seconds. I've found that this really helps to refresh the energy between the camera and the subject. They had an energy that was quite special and quite different from the rest of the shoot. The collection grew, and now it feels the right time to use it for something good. I think it'd be amazing if we could help to raise awareness and involve people in the discussion about mental health. So what we're asking to do is for everyone to upload their own self-portraits. All of these portraits will become part of a massive artwork. I'm really excited to see this project go from hundreds of pictures to thousands of pictures. Essentially, an ever-evolving artwork that says we're all in this together.
Close your eyes and take a moment.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Wanted to highlight this issue and tell the story and let everyone know that modern slavery still exists. And this story, it's a very sensitive topic for me, and it's based on true story. So I've been working on this project for like a couple years, researching real articles and finding real people who experienced that. And yeah, I'm really 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 hoping and giving my 110 to make this project actually mm, to the level where as many people as possibly can see this.
And how are you presenting it? Are you making a documentary on the subject, and or are you dramatizing it?
Yes, it's gonna be like a series based on true events. I think that way we're gonna be able to reach more people, because everyone likes a bit of a criminal drama
Sure.
and a thriller and
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, so it's gonna be maybe after I've made this film, I'll do a documentary about how I was finding the money and finding everything that I need in order to make this project happen.
It's I'm sure it's a big project. I guess you know the subject pretty well personally. Maybe you
Yeah.
can outline the story for us a little and give us a sense of what it's about without giving too much away.
Yeah, well, it's about Lithuanian immigrant who brought to the UK and held captive,
Hmm.
forced to work in fields all day long without paying, and it was all kind of by criminal organization. And
Hmm.
this girl, she runs away, and she needs to find a way how to make her living and not get caught by the people who already um, hunting her
Mm-hmm.
in London.
Yeah, that
Yes,
sounds a little scary, and probably it's a much more common story than people think.
yes, it is.
Well,
Well, congratulations for you for bringing something like this to light, because to your point, you wouldn't think that in London this type of thing is going on. And would you think about making a documentary, like I was just talking about, making a documentary of you making it? So
Yeah,
actually have someone filming the whole, that would be really cool.
it would
yeah.
be.
I've started documenting some of the like processes that I'm going through. So I'm already kind of dreaming about having this documentary. I thought about it a couple of years ago, that it would be nice for people also to see what it actually takes to start from just an idea and to make it happen, and the steps. um, a lot of emotional breakdowns and tears.
Hmm.
And then you have to find the strength, and like Al said, fire inside me, because there's no one else who will motivate you. You have to become your own motivator, true believer, and everything else, and wake up as early as possible. That's the key.
It's every day.
Every day.
When was the last time you had a weekend?
So I'm just thinking. Well, I do go away. So I've realized that resting is very important. Like mental rest is very important in this field. So I do go away for a couple days. Like recently, I was in Mallorca in Spain, but even then, I'd have a bunch of my folders, and I'll just in between resting on a beach or by the pool, I'll
Mm-hmm.
have my morning routine, at least 5 hours a day of working.
Has to be, or it doesn't get done.
Doesn't get done, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's so. I mean, Dr. JACALYN, you know that better than anybody, I think.
A lot of Victoria's sharing, I'm thinking, yep, that's me. That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah, gotta be.
A question I have for you is,
Mhm.
it used to be that everything was on the network programming, and then one-off cable shows here and there, and now there's so many different ways for people to consume material. And I know that some of the A-list stars from the States, they're not going with the big film production companies. They're starting their own companies, and the production costs a lot less than what it would have, and they're going on to Netflix and all these other channels. What are your thoughts about where you'll present your content?
Yes, well, obviously, the dream is to have my films uploaded on Netflix and Amazon. But now I'm finding, because there's so much content, if you're unknown and independent filmmaker or production company, this film can get lost. So there has to be other ways of how to promote the film before it goes on Netflix, because it's just one of the issue that young filmmakers or first time filmmakers are having, that the film can get on Amazon, but who's going to watch it? Yeah. So something for me, when I figured that the same thing happens with the film as it was happening with music, you can upload your songs on Spotify or iTunes, but who's going to listen to them? So there has to be a marketing plan as well, before even it goes anywhere on any platform. You have to have your own audience. You have to have a promotional plan.
Sure. Sure, that's critical. And
Yeah.
and you mentioned music, because I know music is another big part of what you're producing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the music you're making. Do you write it and perform it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So so my song was my original song that I wrote last year in September was selected to participate, was selected in Lithuania. So I had honor to participate amongst other famous Lithuanian stars.
Wow.
And to show my song. Yeah, and it had a lot of nice reviews from multiple countries. So yeah, and also, a couple of years ago, when I was just doing music, I was focusing more on getting out there and performing. So I was just writing my songs and performing them everywhere I could, festivals, private events, and everything.
Great.
It is amazing, to your point, how much marketing is at the foundation of everything. It's getting your following, we had an interview earlier today with a person who started a podcast publishing company. And long story short, what he said was, you need 100 loyal followers. That's
Yeah.
it. You don't need millions. And then you can really make a very serious income from that. So I guess it's a matter of, how do you find who your target audience is? So who is it that you want to consume what it is you're putting out there?
Yes, I totally agree. About that 100 followers. When I was starting out with my music things, I started completely as completely independent artist. I just set up a business email where I had to send my songs to radios and to do all this job that normally manager would do. So, and it was very difficult at first, because I had some interviews published in magazines, and my song was kind of showcased in public, but people were criticizing. So I've received a lot of negative reviews at first, and then I had to figure out what kind of music I have to make in order to find my authentic listener. And and I think, for me personally, in this case, in terms of making music and movies, I had to become my own brand and represent myself and be authentic me as much as you can within the industry. So now that I've moved to film side of things. I still have my songwriting. I wrote all my songs for that film. So for me, all the followers that love my music, I'm hoping that they're gonna follow me into, you know, film film side of the, my creativity.
That's great. I know you're doing it alone, a lot of it alone. I mean, you're very much a solopreneur, and you should be really proud of the dent you're making in the world, because it's a difficult business at best to operate in. And going it alone I think is particularly difficult. But there must be some people that you rely on for support, either encouragement or maybe outright help. Who tell us about your team, the people that you work with.
Yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, for saying nice words. I really appreciate it. Only recently I figured that if I want to get to the next level, I have to start trusting others
Mm,
and let others do at least a little bit under
mm,
my strict supervision, of course.
mm,
So I was very lucky to find, a great cinematographer who is a female, who, you know, the soon as I explained what is my vision, I want to become biggest production company in the world.
mm,
I want to tell stories of people who never had a chance to be heard. I want to become that voice for those people who, who were maybe abandoned or neglected, or, something happened, but they're like great, great characters,
mm.
true stories. And soon as I said that to her, she was like, I trust you, I follow you everywhere. And luckily, I have more people joining me, based on that idea, based on just that, vision of mine. So I don't even know how I'm finding those people. It just happens. I'm a
Well,
really,
they're finding you. I mean, a
yes,
lot of it is when you do the things you do, people tend to.
yeah,
One of the things I'm learning in the work that I do, Victoria, is that people really don't follow people. They follow what they follow. When people fall in love with what you love and they become committed to what you love, then they want to join you and help you achieve that, because then they feel like they're a part of it. That's a huge
yes.
motivator. It's a great way to build a company, which is what you're really doing.
Yes, and I love it. I now that I figured that it's amazing to give this opportunity to join my projects. It's just such a great experience to kind of co-create with those people.
Mm,
It's the next level of um building and creating that I was never aware of. I thought if you want to achieve something, you have to just trust yourself, And in
mm.
many ways, I still do believe that most of the work has to come from myself. Um, but yeah, I'm also very grateful to everyone who is joining me and helping me in so many ways, connecting me to other people and helping me network and put this vision out there.
Wow.
That's wonderful. Al, we don't talk about this very much on the air, but it could be very valuable to bring it up now. But you definitely have a major connection in the entertainment industry. For those people who don't know, do you want to share that?
Sure. Well, my father was a singer, Al Martino, who played Johnny Fontaine in the movie The Godfather. So I know what I know about the music business is that there's a fair amount of glamour in it, obviously, but behind all that is a lot of persistence and hard work. And
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen my father pick up cases of charts for the musicians, put them on trucks, put them on planes, put them in cars, drive them to where he needed to go. And you can't leave anything to chance. Every detail has to be managed, because and my father was very much the kind of guy who never trusted anybody else to do that for him. He always did that himself. So right up into his 80s, he was doing that work day in and day out. There was never an easy day. I mean, as comfortable as he made it look when he was on stage, behind the scenes, there was so much work and so much effort and so much persistence. And I always gave him a lot of credit for that. And actually, that raises a question: who are your role models? Who do you see yourself becoming, or who do you see yourself emulating?
That's a very big question. I do have few people that I look up to. Mainly it's people who, like me, who write themselves, produce themselves, act, sing, and I recently was watching Lifetime documentary by Jennifer Lopez, and I thought, wow, I can really relate to that woman. I'd love to achieve what she has achieved when I'm in my 50s. And then there's just so many I mean, there's just so many people like who setting up their own production companies and producing. Reese Witherspoon, yeah, she's got her book club and production company, and she tells also very meaningful stories. So mainly, probably women, I would say that I. Who else? Margaret Robin. Also, she set up her production company and also doing her own projects, acting in it. So yeah.
Yeah, see that, and you're picking all independent, strong-willed, talented. I mean, highly talented people, and you see the talent. But to get that talent, the talent is the top of the rocket. You need fuel underneath all that. You need a guidance system underneath all that. I mean, there's a lot. It's to get that payload delivered to an audience. There's a lot of stuff you need underneath all that. And I'm just wishing you the best. I think you've got it, really, Viktorija. And I'm excited to see what this develops into over the next couple of years.
Thank you so much. I feel always very emotional when someone says something like that, because it is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, you brought up the documentary about Jennifer Lopez. I saw that, and what she goes through. It's not just all looking beautiful, and she's been through a lot.
It's work. And she is definitely in charge. I mean, it's not like she says, "Where do you want me to stand? How do you want me to look?" She makes all those choices herself. And so what she produces is definitely her product. The other people work for her, which is really impressive.
100%. And I've watched Beyonce, her documentary. Then there's singer Dua Lipa. And this actually gave me permission to own and to have my own opinion of what I want, and just like be able to speak up. No, actually, this is what I want. Because I think during my first interview with this beautiful woman right here, I mentioned that I had to fire my old team within like 9 days of filming, because I was feeling like nobody wanted to listen what exactly I want and which direction I want to go. So I found the guts to fire everyone and found another team who then delivered what exactly my vision was, and we're best friends going into another project together.
Good for you. That's not easy to do, to let people go and move on, but we have to.
It's often necessary. It's the way it is.
Yes. And talent is not just talent is not enough. And especially in this industry for women, we used to, like, women who have their own opinion, we used to be called you're bossy, you're diva, oh, stop being so difficult. So in order to be a strong character and have your own opinion, you have to really quiet all those opinions and be okay with being called those names.
Amen. Amen. Wow.
Well, we're very proud of you, very happy for you, and wishing you continued success.
Viktorija Faith, soon to be on Netflix.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Paramount, Netflix.
Yeah, all those. Wishing you
All
the
of
best.
them. Just put it out there and it'll happen. And Victoria, we have your banner up, and I'm just noticing I don't think your email is right, because I think you have an I in your name, don't you? For the email?
Yep.
Yeah.
Attention to detail, right?
So just let people know, who would you like to contact you, and what's the best way to get in touch with you? And I'll put your other email address out there.
I'd love to be contacted by other creative people, producers, filmmakers, anyone who loves the idea behind, what I'm doing. I'm happy to hear from anyone, really. I'm realizing that the more people better chances you have. And my email address is open to anyone, and LinkedIn also. I'm happy to connect. Yep.
Perfect. And if you could just share your email address for people who are on the radio or they can't read it, that'd be great.
Right. So viktoriafaith@gmail.com. And spelling on my name is a bit different, so it's VIKTORIJA faith@gmail.com.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to seeing you again. Come back and tell us how things are going.
Oh my gosh.
It's exciting. We know you. We knew you win.
Oh, thank
We
you
knew you
so
before.
much.
Yeah, this is going to be so much fun following your career in the coming years.
I don't think Al. I don't think we're connected on Facebook. I think this is
I
our.
don't have a Facebook account.
He's not on there.
Facebook, I'm in the witness protection.
Every day I'm like,
I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn, so we can connect there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's such a pleasure to meet you and to see you as well. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and it's very important for people like me, independent people, to just be heard and to have a chance to just speak up. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the chance.
Working with people like you is one of the reasons why Dr. JACALYN gets up at 3:30 every morning.
Oh my God, Dr. JACALYN, 3:30.
No, I do not get up at 3:30. I am up reading my mail, but I go back to sleep. But anyway, it's been a pleasure, Victoria, and we look forward to hearing more about what you're doing and seeing you back here on this platform.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Dr. JACALYN and Al, thank you so much. I had so much fun with you guys.
Great.
Thank you. We had fun with you too.
Thank you.
Bye for now. I love when we have people who are taking the bull by the horns, making things happen, and being role models for others.
I do. And that role model for others, especially in Victoria's case, in the case of the people we talk to who make and do and achieve every day, whether it's in the arts or whether it's in business, that execution, that element that Viktorija added, that get up and do it, don't just talk about it, but make it happen. A lot of people have difficulty making that leap from thinking to acting. And that is the key difference to making a business work. Absolutely the key difference. And that's why this was such an important message, I think, for everybody.
That's a really good point, Al. Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's also that we have to anticipate that there are going to be obstacles, that there will be challenges. Like Victoria mentioned that she didn't get great reviews initially. And that's going to happen. I told you before, people have thrown small rocks at me, boulders at me. And it's kind of just like, okay, I've got a protective suit on. It's going to bounce off of me. But I acknowledge the fact that this is a learning opportunity.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. How often do you think that somebody like Oprah Winfrey had to shrug off a comment about her weight? Or for that matter, Jennifer Lopez. People are talking about her weight all the time. She doesn't care about any of that. All she
Right.
cares about is that Jenny on the block is scoring points, winning the game. I mean, she is so driven by what she does. She just naturally knows how to tune out all that noise.
It's important. It is.
Yeah, critical.
So we're tuning out the noise, but I'm tuning you up on Spotlight to tell us how people can get in touch with you and
Thank you.
what are your contact information.
Thanks very much, Doc. I appreciate that. It's always great working with you, and I'm looking forward to episode 103 next Wednesday. But in the meantime, if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm easy to reach. It's al.cini, al.cini at getbcat, getbcat.com. And just drop me an email. Let's start a conversation. Happy to talk to you about team building. We have a do-it-yourself form of what we do that doesn't cost you anything. It's a great way to run a Zoom meeting, and I'd be happy to present it for you. So just give me a call or 855-999-BCAT or send me an email and let's talk. Thank you, Doc.
Thanks, Al. And if people would like to be interviewed by you on RVN Television, is that an opportunity?
Same email address. And I mean, we're always looking to talk to CEOs, business leaders, as on this program, business leaders, and also people who've got great stories to tell business leaders. Information that they can use. So yeah, definitely reach out to either of us for that matter and get booked here on the Business Talk Show or on any of the other programs and the advocates. If you're especially a not-for-profit making a difference in the world and helping people, want to hear from you, want to hear your story, want to get you booked.
All right. Thank you so much, Al. I appreciate it. So we are signing off right now. Our men's show is coming up right after this, and it's an interesting topic. It's about pornography and how men feel about it as they age.
As they age?
As they age, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm ducking out at this point. Thank you very much.
All right, Al and I look forward to seeing you next week.
And I will as well. You take care and have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Doc.